Hey everyone, we got a pretty big flood here. Gonna put it in four-wheel drive just in case. I just walked through this with my Crocs to make sure it wasn't like soft, like we were gonna get stuck in it. It is pretty deep. It's almost up to my knees, not super deep. I think it's okay to drive through it. We're in four-wheel drive, just gonna go really slow so it doesn't splash up into things. Take it nice and slow, four-wheel drive. We are hauling a trailer. Not too bad. This water is actually ice cold. It's super cold. Outside right now is 54 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius. We're driving through like a little lake right here. And to me, it looks like the road just sunk over the years from them not really using it. Doesn't appear to be any beaver activities. It's just a little bit of swamp, not even a pond on the sides. But we made through nice. Right now I'm actually really cold. It feels like ice water going through that. I think it's coming out of a spring. Because earlier today we took a bath in a river which was considerably warmer than that. Now the road's a little bit tighter because a lot of people, I guess, didn't want to drive through that. But we're going to continue on our way, see what we can find for any kind of clogs and culverts. All right, everyone, we finally found a fork in the road where I was able to turn the trailer around. We're not going to drive down here because I'm unsure if we could even continue. The mosquitoes are very, very bad here. They will land on you even when you're running. Because it's raining, I can't even bother to put bug spray on. Yeah. Northern Canadian mosquitoes are the worst I've ever seen. They can keep up with you when you're running around. There's swarms of them that follow the vehicle because they can smell the carbon monoxide. There's swarms of them that follow you around. Their only weakness is the wind. Right here looks like a big flood. The road looks like it's really narrow. That's why I didn't risk bringing the truck down here further. We'll go back. We're gonna go through that other flood again. Yeah, this looks like it's being reduced to an ATV trail. So good thing we didn't try driving down here. This water is also ice cold again. Yep, look, this beaver pond is full. Oh, look, there's the lodge. Ah. Multiple mosquitoes on me as we walk down here. They're very excited. Yesterday, must have had hundreds of mosquito bites on me from walking around. Yep, beavers are building a dam right now along the road to make the pond even deeper. This must be a super duper deep pond. Here, look at this makeshift bridge to get down here. I could have made it down here a little further, but it's gonna scratch up a lot of paint, it looks like. Is this a big culvert? No, it's an old wooden bridge. Old wooden bridge, and it's completely jammed by the beavers with a multi-foot wall of mud and sticks. This is one we wouldn't be getting open. Have to work on that one for days, doing it by hand. There's some really nice wild roses out here. Look at that. It's a little better now that we're in the open. It's keeping the mosquitoes away. Got some cattails out here. See a whole area where the evergreen trees are dying as the beavers are flooding this. But over here, compared to the other side, they're holding up like 5 feet of water. The road gets really tight. If I zoom down there, they haven't flooded for quite a while. And the grass down there is so tall, you can tell no one drives down here anymore. As a result, everyone turns around where I just turned around. There was a couple vehicles on this road that are parked. They have empty trailers. So I'm assuming a lot of people like to come out here on ATVs. Seems like a lot of fun. Lots of very big floods, lots of mud holes, obstacles like this. Let's see if I can get down here a little bit, because I kind of want to show you this bridge. I have not got a single tick on me since I've been in these parts. Yeah, it's an old primitive looking wooden bridge. If you can see that, it doesn't want to focus with the grass and stuff. Trying to show you. Oh, got a rock in my shoe. Do you see it's got old supports like that? Look at that. Really old primitive logging bridge. Looks like it's rotting really bad also. Wouldn't want to drive a loaded log truck down this. This road needs a lot of work to unflood it. The water here is not as cold. Not as bad. That's a very fresh beaver dam. They've been adding to it. See, this is a beaver dam going all along the road. As they make it deeper, they're building the lodge higher. They're hollowing out the ceiling more as they add more to the top. Keep making the water deeper and deeper. There's a toilet right here, right next to where I parked. All right, everyone, we're heading back on this road a bit. This is a pretty bad section of the road. We're gonna drive over a whole bunch of ruts right here where the water was spilling over, caused by the beavers. Gotta go really slow, some very deep ruts. Up here you see a culvert pipe standing upright. It looks like they removed that piece of it. Not underneath the road, but just a piece of it that was pretty crumpled after the excavator hit it. It was so far under the mud, they couldn't tell where it was, and it looks like they probably destroyed it. We're gonna get out and take a look at this. It looks like there might still be a bit of a blockage from the beavers. There's a little piece of orange ribbon there. Maybe not a blockage, but we'll get out and take a look. Look at this area. At one point, this was flooded up to the tree line. Like if I zoom over there, see all the grassy areas? These were all once underwater when the beavers were fully active. And I think they were probably relocated from here. So got this thing, is it just standing upright? I think it's jammed in the ground. There's some ribbons here. Right there, take a look at the water. Take a look at the water on this side. Where even is it? Oh, there it is underneath the water. This side's backed up a bit. There might be active beavers here. It looks like a beaver dam. Even if they did relocate it, it's unlikely they would have gone down there and removed that dam. So this pond remains, doesn't affect the road, but it's backing up slightly through the pipe. Usually this won't cause a problem. In rare conditions, in the deep winters that happen up here, this will freeze solid. And while the surface of the water is still solid, you'll get a spring thaw or a rainstorm, and now the pipe can't work because it's full of ice. That's the one downside to this situation here. What is that over there? Just a dark mark. Oh yeah, that's actually the water line of how deep this pond actually was on that tree. Thought it may have been an animal. The zoom lens is better than my eyes. But when this was at maximum capacity, it looks like the road started washing out. The beavers built a dam along it after the road washed out to keep their capacity. That's why it's all rutted up. But they're not logging this road anymore. The only one that really comes down here looks like people with trailers that want to use it for ATVs. There's a couple of them out there right now, but that's about it. There's a tree leaning over the road. Someone chainsawed it. Windshield's cleaner. All right, here's another section of road. I just got out to take a look at these holes. Are they sinkholes? I see water sitting down there. Could it be like a hole from a groundhog? Beavers in rare occasions have been known to make holes. Are they burrows or is it just some sort of sinkhole? There's definitely beaver ponds all around here. Down in here used to be flooded, but it looks like the logging company got to it. That's a very fresh drain too. I'd say earlier this year was drained. This was a big flood. Yep. These logging companies are still maintaining the roads and occasionally draining these ponds, despite the condition it may look in. Take a look at all the daisy flowers. Ton of them. Looks like we got a... Is that a rabbit? No, it's a grouse. Look at this random chunk that the beavers left. We are pulling up to a flooded road, and it looks like the beavers have been very active here. We're gonna get out and see if there's anything that can be done about this. There's active water crossing the road right now. To the left, you see this big hump. The beavers have built a dam all along the road because they weren't satisfied with the pond being as deep as the road. So now the pond is actually deeper than the road. Right here, the dam is leaking, spilling over, going across the road. You see numerous ribbons on the side of the road. Are those homemade ones made out of garbage bags? There's also orange ones I see someone put up. Go see if we can see it. I actually see the top of the culvert, so we're gonna park somewhere where there's enough space for another vehicle to pass and get to work. At the end of this road, all there is a little parking area where people can use ATV trails. It's not actively being logged, but every now and then I can tell the logging company's doing some preventative maintenance because there's a few empty beaver ponds down there and somebody must have unclogged them. So this used to be a 2-lane road, so we can pull over here a little bit. And if someone needs to pass me, they'll have to plow over a little bit of bush on that side too. It looks like there's even another flood up there, but I think it's all the same beaver swamp. It's just flooding in a couple locations due to the one pipe. Let's get out and take a look. All right, everyone. I just threw a pair of pants on. I was kind of drying off after taking a bath in a nice clean looking river up here. So I was kind of dirty. Took a bath earlier. Nice and cool out today. The high temperature is 54 degrees Fahrenheit. About 11 or 12 Celsius. Some of these uncloggings are bad enough that we just go in without the big high boots, since we figure we'll just get wet. That's why I got the Crocs on right now. Gotta decide if I want to just put sneakers on to protect my feet, but not to prevent me from getting wet, or big high boots. Take a look, this beaver swamp is big. And you know what? I could not be happier that it is windy. Couldn't be happier. There's a lot of annoying things. Black flies, deer flies, and mosquitoes are very vicious when you're very far north. Very vicious. You sweat a little bit, just the slightest amount of bug spray wipes off. You gotta be drenched in it to keep them away. So here's the exit of the pipe. The pipe itself is pretty flooded. I see a couple fish in there. There's a beaver dam right there keeping this here. This isn't really necessarily an issue. I see a whole bunch of water lilies. Some of them have buds. They'll be flowering soon. We got a break in the wind and the mosquitoes are over here. Let's keep it windy. Got a very nice variety of wildflowers up here. Real nice. There's also a lot of natural lupine, which I don't get to see much in my area in Maine, but here in northern Canada there's a lot of small leaf lupine, which is the natural kind. The bigger leaf lupine, like I often see, is a potentially invasive species from the western US and Canada. What it means by potentially invasive means it can take over fields and stuff, but it won't take over the woods. Shade will kill it. This water looks gross, like it would be a lot of leeches and stuff. So you can see water entering there, which is a good sign, meaning it's only plugged on the end. Should be easy to get some water flowing. It looks very, very deep, so I don't think we even want to get in there with the big high boots, but I'm going to put my regular steel toe. Yeah, no chance. We're just going to sit here on the end of the pipe, standing here, and we'll use the rake. And we'll get it open a decent amount anyways. And this was very recently flooded, because take a look at this. This is a type of water grass, but water grass does not grow underwater like this. Its roots can be in the water, it can be submerged a little bit, but it wouldn't have grown like this. This was very recently flooded. There's been a lot of rain recently. Beavers have been being big troublemakers. Yep. This has gone through a very recent rise. Take a look at this. Bunch of sticks thrown here. Somebody got out here by hand and took apart a little bit of it. So the goal is remove a little bit of it, throw it up here. Once we get a little bit of current, hopefully just moving it around will send enough current to just start ripping it apart and sending it on through. So this one right here is not a high confidence one that we'll be able to get the entire thing open. One reason is the place is so big and it looks like it goes way back there. It's flooding further down the road, which means it would take hours, half a day maybe, for any noticeable drawdown. Then we'd have to come back and do it again and again. But the chances are, in that 12 hours of drawdown, a beaver might be able to come over and fix it. The good news is there's not too many trees nearby that the beaver would be easily able to bring over. And I've seen beavers try to plug up pipes that you get surging. They add something, it just gets sucked through. They really can't do anything until the water calms down. All right, let's get the boots on. All right, we're back with the boots on. There's a small little line of oil coming out of here, but that's natural swamp oils, if you're able to see that. Over here, this other beaver dam is about a foot below capacity. Maybe we'll get to see that thing right there completely fill up as we unclog a little bit. Might take longer than you think, because this here is the old drainage ditch, and it's very big, very wide. So definitely we'll probably be able to see more current coming out of the end here. All right, everyone, so I have low confidence that we'll get this thing completely open because it's potentially dangerous how much water there is blocking this pipe. And it's also a large area, like I said. Take a long time to draw down. Likely the beavers will respond to it before we even get a big dent in it. Also, they're just gonna keep building back. It's a road that's not really being maintained too much. It is a little bit, but not a lot. It's built pretty rocky here, so this will be passable for years in this shape. They're probably not going to trap them until the area needs to be logged again. But I do have high confidence that we'll get it open somewhat. Pan you guys off to the side, and we'll set up camera number 2 up here. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is going. Always make that noise for alignment. Just moved something big down there. We're gonna have muddy knees, but we got something going. All right, everyone, let's go see what's going on the other side. All right, it looks like coffee coming out of here. Noticeable flow. You're not going to notice a lot since the culvert's already halfway underwater. You can hear the waterfall we just created. All right, everyone, we got this thing flowing a bit more than before. It's sucking water. This will drop it back about 1 foot in capacity, but that's not a lot for this pond. Here's what the entrance looked like before. It would be a lot of leeches and stuff. Here's what it looks like now, making a nice gulping sound. So you saw my rake just disappeared into the mud. Mud is very sticky. If I was to step in there, I'd go up over my waist, maybe my chest, in sticky mud in front of a pipe that I'm opening up that's going to get dangerous current. But there's a lot of things I anchor on them, but I don't have the strength to pull them out unless I was actually there outside the pipe. So I could do more in the water, just not safe. But we got it coming out this side a bit more than before. And here's what it looks like after. So from what we did, it'll get this little pond up to capacity eventually, but it'll take a bit. All right, everyone. Moving up the road a little bit. Lots of mosquitoes hitched a ride here inside the truck. Take a look at this body of water up here. It's the same exact swamp. This is where it's crossing the road a bit more, but there's only one culvert pipe back there. It's the only one. There's some water. Oh, nice, washing the mud off. There's another section of flooded road, but I think it's just a bunch of potholes. Both sides of the road, I don't really see any water. Yep, not beavers this time. There's a bunch of random campsites. There's a camper right here at this lake, and the beavers are flooding the road. That's what we got here. We're gonna get out and take a quick look at this culvert pipe. Yep, water's very low on this side. Other side, very high. We gotta go take a look at these culvert pipes and see if there's anything we can do about it. Maybe we can pull over right here. Is there a big drop or anything? I don't see one. This used to be a 2-lane road. So if we pull over here halfway, another vehicle, if they had to pass us, could also move over on the other side halfway. Pull up a little bit more. Alrighty. Alright, everyone. So we're gonna take a look. Lots of nice daisy flowers here. Elevated water levels. This stuff here would not have grown in the water. This area here has been water for years. That's why you don't see grass. You see lily pads. But yep, the beavers have it a couple of feet higher than usual. Over here, those trees died off years ago. Now that the water's higher, a whole new layer of trees will die off eventually. Road right here is flooded. That's the lowest spot where it's crossing. It looks like a little bit of a hump here. The beavers have built a little bit of dam because they wanted higher than the road. This side here actually looks a little deprived of water since the beavers have clogged the culvert. Oh, a duck flew away. Here it is, a duck. There's actually 2 of them. Maybe we can do something, maybe we can't. We're gonna go find out. Look at all the lily pads. Oh, I got a ton of mosquitoes on me right now. Lots of mosquitoes. We need the wind. So right here, this is all below capacity because the water's just not getting here. Those culverts are pretty deep. Will we even be able to get to them? I don't see them off the bat, though I see something here. Is this the culvert here? Is that the culvert I'm standing on? That's what I gotta find out, and we'll get the big high boots on maybe. Maybe not. Those pipes are big. This also probably wouldn't be a very safe one to be doing either. The amount of current that would come out of here is just gonna be too strong. First off, those ends are always gonna be lower, they're pitched. This one here is a bit underwater, so this one here would be the primary flow. Secondary flow, which I was just standing on, is also pretty far underwater. It's gonna create a dangerous suction, just like the other pipe. Unless I'm in front of it, we're not gonna be able to pull stuff out, and this one has a bunch more pressure on it compared to the other one. And look over here, the beavers were chewing this. Look at all these potholes. A whole ton of potholes. Bunch of them. This is a very, very bumpy road with campsites and ATV trails. Right here we have come up to another blockage, and this blockage looks like it's so persistent, or such a big pain in the butt, that, look, the logging company has thrown a bunch of rocks here to fill a big void. Is there even a chance of finding this culvert? I'm looking out the left of where it is, and I'm not seeing any sign of it. Just like the others, it's very far under. The beavers have built a dam all along the road. It's going to be far under. But the bunch of trees are also in the pond, so it's a recent increase. Let's pull over a little bit and go have ourselves a look. Pull over enough so someone could pass. Let's go take a look. The mosquitoes are going to be bad again. I don't have high hopes of this one either. See, it looks like with the grader, they just dragged it back a little bit. So they do bring heavy equipment down here to make it passable, but they also leave it very rugged. The pond's actually under capacity despite it raining today. See, at some point they had it all the way up here. The dam's not super tight. There's a moose track, so it's slowly draining. The logging company threw a bunch of stone here to get rid of some big mess. Probably because the beavers were about to make it impassable. See all this erosion that they threw the rocks in? Looks like they lower the grader a few spots just to drain puddles. So here's where the pipe is. It's actually a very small pipe. It's only a 2-foot culvert. You wouldn't expect it with this amount of water. Another moose track. You wouldn't expect the pipes to be this small. But these are also very, very deep beaver ponds. Walk down here, got a little bit of trickle going across. Very little going across, so takes the beavers a long time to do this. Got another little scoop. It looks like they're using the blade of the grader. Here we go again. It's like a foot below capacity. That peak of this dam is 2 feet above the road. Looks like another spot they took the grader just to drain this big puddle, because everyone that drives through the puddle's throwing mud out, making it worse and worse. Looking over here, here's some old culvert pipes, so if they pull these out of here, they replaced it with one that's even smaller. Those ones, look how rusted out those ones are. Years and years of current, rocks tumbling through, acting like a sandblasting, caused it to rust out. The whole downstream section, I can tell, used to be flooded at some point by the growth within the last 5 years. Take a look at the fog out here. That's really cool looking. It suddenly got pretty cool out, and I think the water's just warm, or maybe it's the whipping wind doing it. That looks amazing. Zoom on into it a bit. Well, look at this. Those muskrats or baby beavers? Hard to tell. I think they're muskrats, but they might be baby beavers. And this is a flood caused by the beavers. All right, everyone, we're back to this location about 4 hours later. It's all the way up to the top of that beaver dam at capacity. Take a look at all those bubbles in the water. That's from the water being agitated inside the pipe with the waterfall. As it's stirred up, it makes a bunch of suds. That's organic material. Could be anything from rotting leaves, trees, poop. And here's what this area looked like before. And here's what it looks like now, 4 hours later.